Hello and welcome to the Through the Decades February 2026 Premodern Monthly, coming to you from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky. Today we'll have our round 3 matchup between myself, Benjamin Tash, on the left with Blue-White Landstill, and Jeff on the right with Devourer combo. And we'll get to those deck lists right after a word from our sponsors. Through the Decades, in conjunction with the Ohio River Boas, are proud to bring you Grand Prix Louisville on June 6, 2026. If you ever find yourself missing not only the pre-modern era of Magic the Gathering, but the old tournament structure, this will be the event for you. The entry fee for the main event is $60 and will include a specially designed Grand Prix Louisville playmat and a stamped card. Prize support for the main event will be $5,000, paying out to the top 16, along with a Magic the Gathering themed championship belt for the winner. Side events will include some retro booster drafts, including Mirage Block, Tempest Block, and Urza's Block, along with a Pauper Win-a-Duel giving out a Tundra to first place and a Bayou for second place. The main event will max out at 300 players, so seating is limited as we throw one of the largest celebrations of the pre-modern format to date. So, don't miss your chance to be part of pre-modern Magic history and sign up by scanning the QR code on the screen. All right, and up first, we've got my list here of Blue-White Landstill. Now, this was the first monthly that we had after the Parallax Tide ban, so definitely some changes had to be made to this list, and you can kind of see here, it's gone back to more of a classical Landstill build. Some changes, an Exalted Angel, let's see here, also some main deck Disenchants, less Seal of Cleansing because you can't do the Tide trick anymore, and even the main deck Phyrexian Furnaces, but otherwise it's pretty much a bog standard list. You've got your counter spells, you've got your removal spells, Wrath of Gods, you've got your standstill and your creature lands to make sure that you're able to attack through that standstill, and the Decree of Justice because that cycling effect does not trigger the standstill. So it's an oldie and a goodie, the blue-white version of the rock, if I may say so myself. The strange one, of course, is that Exalted Angel main. We have a little bit of aggro in our meta, so I definitely want to try to make sure to have a way to hedge my bets there. And you can see that I have a second one in the sideboard, uh, but otherwise, it's all pretty straightforward. Now, we're going to get over to Jeff's list, though, here in just a moment. All right, now we've got Jeff's list here, and Austin, why don't you tell me about the Devourer combo deck?
Yeah, so this is a pretty classic combo deck in pre-modern. We have Phyrexian Devourer, and we have a couple cards to go with it: Ultra Dementia and Fling. So with Devourer, we can just exile the top card of our library at any time and add counters to our Phyrexian Devourer. It does have that clause saying if you have power 7 or greater, you do have to sacrifice it, but that is a trigger that goes on the stack. And what we can do is just respond to that trigger over and over and over again. We have two ways to kill our opponent. With Fling, just throwing a big Devourer at their face, or Ultra Mincha, where we just mill their entire deck out. So you can go either way. A lot of times, sometimes decks have ways to deal with mill, something like a Guy's Blessing, but unfortunately for Ben here, he doesn't have that in his 75. So either way is going to work in this. And looking at the rest of the deck, it's just a bunch of cards to get mana ramp to be able to cast either just Hardcast Devour or just a bunch of ways to find the combo pieces that we're looking for. Tinker being the big one. That card is very broken, and this is really the only deck in the format that can leverage that card.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like Tinker can find either side, so it's really A plus B in a sense there. Um, I would say that this is probably not the best matchup for you, especially with Jeff bringing the hate with 4 defense grids in the main. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that
To have
one that
yeah,
that
we'll
that
see
one
it
is
soon.
is not what I'm excited to see here. I won't lie. As a classic combo versus control matchup, this is the kind of matchup I would normally hope for. But having four main deck defense grid and then also two red blast in the sideboard, plus some other and a pyroblast actually, and some other cards like say Rushing River or other things like that. Not exactly what I love to see. But let's go on ahead and get down to that match, and we can see how that one turned out. All right, looks like we've got a pair of capable hands here, and Jeff starting off with a alternate sleeve, I'm assuming Ancient Tomb, and having a think over. Yep, it's a defense grid.
Yeah, at this point, turn round 3. There's only 13 people at our event this month. We all kind of knew what we were playing against, so I would not be surprised if Jeff kept his hand on the strength of a card like Defense Grid.
So you can't hear it in the audio right this moment, but Jeff actually said he didn't know what I was on for some reason.
Oh,
So
really?
he kind of guessed at that one, and it was a swing and a hit for him. And I have the perfect counter of a Coastal Tower tapped because Azorius Guildgate is truly a wonderful magic card. So my turn one is 0 mana, and his turn two is 3 mana at the very minimum. So Jeff is certainly in the driver's seat at this moment, especially if I don't have anything like a disenchant in my hand.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to keep pushing the advantage here on you.
Yeah. He is overpowering me with his mana for sure. And wisely casting an impulse because he remembered that defense grid does affect his spells as well.
Oh, yeah. So at this point, yeah, you're kind of just looking for disenchant is really your big thing. Yeah, especially I saw at least one counterspell in your opening hand.
Yeah, that is a mana leak that is just, and that's an impulse, not exactly the card I want to be casting at that moment.
No.
And oh boy, a standstill in some lands, which, yeah, I'm going to take it. Looks like, was that a Dust Bowl maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You
Yeah.
you you can't. None of your counter spells really work. So trying to get his mana out from under him is probably your best bet here.
Yeah, I think at this point I was just trying to push towards yeah, oh my goodness, that's double counterspell and a mana leak in my hand, I think I saw. And yeah, it does have that problem of essentially I need to have 5 mana for my spells to do anything. And if I've got 5 mana, something has gone terribly wrong on Jeff's side.
Yeah.
But Jeff with just another impulse on his turn again, just using his card quality to make sure that he can sculpt the perfect hand to get around me. Because right now, even if I draw a disenchant, I'm not going to be able to interact on the next turn because I have to disenchant on this turn and then have 1 mana open. And as you can see from my deck list, I don't have any 1 mana remove or counter spells there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is really you can't get rid of both of these artifacts now for a tinker, and if you have something like altar, you're just kind of dead in dead in the water.
Yeah. But I just have to play to my outs, to be honest.
Yeah,
Jeff going
definitely.
down to
It's always
going
a
down to
part of the charm of these A plus B decks is sometimes part B is the bottom 15 cards, and there's nothing that this deck can really do about it.
yeah, and the tutors in this format are by design mostly they're decent to say the least. Obviously, we don't get vampiric or mystical tutor because those cards would be heinous.
Oh yeah.
Also, Jeff casting his third impulse there. I think I see a fling in his hand, so there's his B. Now we just need the A.
Yeah, and I don't think this Phyrexian Furnace is going to be doing much outside of cracking and drawing a card,
Yeah.
if you even get to that point.
Let's see here. So that puts Jeff up to 6 mana. And me asking Jeff if he wants to tap blue for mana for his Tinker. Me not
Yep.
holding Jeff to a graveyard order, by the way.
But yeah, with this fling that Jeff has in hand, it's like, yeah, this isn't long for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm telling Jeff at this point, hey, show me like I know I'm dead at this point. Just show me 19 cards worth. And he tries to announce the trigger. Jeff, bro, we've done this dance before. Just show me 19 powers worth of cards so I can see if you have anything weird in your deck. Like he's had, what was it, Sylvan Library before, I think?
Yeah. It's like some of these decks play green for Sylvan Library and Oath of Druids. So
Yeah.
I understand trying to see if that's what Jeff is on. And speaking of that type of list, Jeff has done that before. I think in our December monthly, he was playing that type of list. So
No.
he's definitely known to switch it up.
Yeah. All right, and now as I pull out my sideboard guide here, let's actually take a look at our sideboards here and see exactly what we think we're going to be bringing in. All right, now taking a look back at my list here, I've actually got my sideboard guide from that event, and I see here that I took out an Exalted Angel, three Factor Fictions, a Phyrexian Furnace, or sorry, both Phyrexian Furnaces, and all three Wrath of Gods. And then I brought in the Annuls because his combo pieces are mostly artifacts, so we can counter those quickly, and especially that defense grid. The Circle of Protection Reds, which is a hedge against the Fling, then Hydroblast, again, hedge against the Fling and any other red spells he may have. And of course, the Meddling Mages, because Meddling Mage is a wonderful card against combo decks. Being able to name important cards. I think if I were to land one here, the first card I'd be naming would be Tinker. And then maybe something like Pyroclasm to make sure that the other one doesn't die. And then after that, probably Devourer, and that wraps it up if I can get three out, which is rare, but at least I'm able to protect the one that is trying to stop him from having the catch-all card that wins in the game. Thoughts on that, Austin?
Yep. Nope. I follow everything that you're saying there. Definitely would name Tinker. Kind of like as we were saying in the deck tech. Tinker is A and B. It's really whichever way you want to go. So cutting that off really does cut a lot of the power out of this deck.
Yeah. All right. Now taking a look at Jeff's list. So, Austin, what do you think we're bringing in and cutting for this one?
Yeah. Looking at his sideboard, we definitely want the Power Blast and the Red Elemental Blast. Just being able to answer your counter spells with our own counter spell, especially being at 1 mana, is a very good trade that I would want.
Mm-hmm.
Rushing River is also kind of a weird card to think about, but I definitely do want to bring in. We know that you're bringing Meddling Mages, so a card like that is going to disrupt our game plan enough that we have to have an answer for it to be able to combo pretty effectively. And to that same point, I think Pyroclasm, while again looking kind of weird, can deal with meddling mages if you are able to get a decree of justice down. You do have ways to deal with the 1/1s, so I can see something like that coming in. Uh, looking at Jeff's main deck on what we're taking out, there really isn't anything that sticks out to me as you have to take me out. So in that situation, I'm probably cutting some of the cards that are just there to filter through your deck. So something like Chromatic Sphere, I think could get out of the deck. Sky Diamond probably being the worst of the 2 mana rocks will probably go. I wouldn't mind seeing the Intuition going as well. Jeff can just, or you could just kind of let that resolve and then counter the card that Jeff found. And if it's something like three Tinkers, then you effectively countered three Tinkers and 6 mana worth of spells with your counter spells. So that doesn't feel great on Jeff's side. So I could see stuff like that coming out in this matchup.
That seems entirely reasonable to me. And yeah, the other thing is with this kind of combo deck, you don't want to cut any of the important cards. You know, Altar of Dementia, Fling, Phyrexian Devourer, Tinker. Those are all essentially anchors for this deck because they're the big combo pieces. So we definitely want to not cut those. So yeah, I can definitely get behind sort of shaving the spheres and intuition, Sky Diamond, and just maybe another card here or there, like an Impulse or a Mind Stone, maybe in case we wanted to get all of those cards and all what 7? Yeah, no, excuse me, yeah,
Yeah.
8 cards
Yeah.
in.
And
So
I agree with that.
yep.
It just, there's only so much you can really do until you really change the identity of this deck. And you can't be doing that.
All right, and now let's get back to our games here and see how that goes. All right, it looks like we've got a pair of keepable sixes here. We've both mulligan once. Uh, I see a Tangle Wire in Jeff's hand.
Yeah. I don't think we've really talked about it too much yet, but Tanglewire definitely is going to be a problem in this matchup for you. Speaking of problems, Sabo's Web is also a real big problem for
Yeah,
you as well.
yeah, it is. This is not a card I'm happy to see. Jeff's list here is pretty hateful for me. I won't lie. See, Meddling Mage. What did I name? Or am I being commentary
Yeah.
friendly and writing down what I'm hoping to be a tinker?
Yeah, it's like let's see if past you is as smart as present you on the naming here.
Well, it
We get to
looks
play
like a
Magic Gathering. and we get to do a little bit of arts and crafts as well.
Tink. Yep, it's Tinker. Hey, there we go. So I feel pretty smart about that, but I'm gonna feel pretty dumb if he draws a land and plays that Tangle Wire.
Yeah, but you definitely just named Tinker here, as we were
Yeah,
talking before.
I'm trying to fit it. I'm just trying to keep myself entertained at this point while Jeff decides what to do for the turn.
It looks like it is that Tangle Wire.
Now, I do have a disenchant in my hand, but I decided not to play it here. I think it's just because I want to save it for something more important. Plus, I have a creature here, so I can get back up to 2 mana pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I agree. This is really more just to get Jeff from turn 4 to turn 2 to turn 5 without any real opposition from you.
Yeah. Well, I see what looks like an altar in Jeff's hand and an impulse. And a very unfortunate red blast for me.
Yeah.
And it's doubly
Yeah, because
unfortunate because now it's taken a permanent away from me. Now I go for the very rare let the fetch land be tapped because I know he's not on wastelands anyways. And I want to have a higher chance of drawing a land here, which I know deck thinning at this point is so infinitesimally small that the percentage is so low, but you take your points where you can.
oh yeah, definitely. But unfortunately for you here is that you are tapped out, and I see. Oh, it looks like he brought in the Karn Silver Golem in his sideboard as well. But I saw a Tinker in his hand, so he's only one piece away. And if he does have that in his hand,
Well, he had the Altar of Dementia that we saw
yeah,
earlier, so that's one.
mm,
So if he has a land here, I am
yeah,
truly most sincerely dead.
yeah,
And it looks like I don't think he's intentionally slow rolling me, but I think I see an Ancient Tomb in his hand.
yeah.
We've got a Mind Stone here, and all right, so he's just got all the mana now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Here's 5. Oh, looks like he's
Oh,
gonna go for the Karn.
he's just gonna go for the Karn beatdown.
Yeah,
And I go ahead and disenchant that because otherwise that thing is going to beat me in the face very quickly.
yeah. You're not gonna have much time for that with that on the table.
I may have been wrong, or one of us might have been wrong on the Tinker and or Altar in hand
Yeah,
because otherwise you'd think he'd go for it.
yeah.
Well, he's
No,
definitely got a
sounds
Tinker now.
there. Yeah, I think he has 3 blue cards.
That may have been a Mind Stone rather than an Altar. I may have misspoken earlier.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'll be honest, when he casts the Tinker here, you can see me looking at the blue cards in my hand, going, "Well, I'm dead," and seeing the Devourer just cinches it right there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, and just a second Tinker. Yep.
And it's pretty elementary at this point. I,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've counted the cards. Like, yeah, you have way. No, show me 50 convert. Okay, I'm making him show me the count. It's my last ditch effort. It's 18 from the other devourers already, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the very fun and exciting math. I'm going to be a spoiler for us right now. He has 50 left, so I'm very dead at this point because Jeff absolutely browned me in two very quick games. But sometimes you do need to check your opponent. Like obviously, this game hadn't gone really long enough for me to have much of a chance.
Yeah, just the power of Tangle Wire is really just on full display here.
Yeah, that card is it's brutal to play against. Yep, there we go. And the handshake there. And Jeff gets it 2-0. So these things they happen.
Oh yeah,
I actually get to see what Jeff brought. Nope, looks like he's just shuffling, and that's fine. But I'm just actually I did bring in Brain Freeze because if I could hit him with a good Brain Freeze real quick, I could take cards out of his deck and make him not able to combo out there. I think it was kind of my idea there.
yeah, I get that.
Yep.
Didn't really work in the game that we saw, but if we do have a little bit of a longer game, yeah,
Yeah.
that could definitely be a viable option.
Yeah, and it certainly wouldn't have worked in that game because it was way too early. But
Oh yeah.
nevertheless, that's going to be it for us for this week and this round. But we'll be back more in the future with more pre-modern gameplay from Louisville, Kentucky.